Dinesh Khara, who will take you through the proceedings for the agenda for today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Very good afternoon to all of you. The very purpose of today's meeting is to give an update relating to the National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited and the India Debt Resolution Company Limited. We are glad to announce that all the requisite approvals for setting up of the NARCL and the IDRCL, including from RBI, have now been received, and both the companies are ready to commence their business. This is as envisaged by Honorable Finance Minister in her budget speech on 1st of February 2021. The broad features of the arrangement are that the NARCL will acquire and aggregate the identified NPA accounts from the banks, while IDRCL, under an exclusive arrangement, will handle the debt resolution process. This exclusive arrangement will be as per the scope defined in the debt management agreement being already executed between the two entities. The arrangement will be on principal agent basis, and final approval and ownership for the resolution shall lie with the NARCL as the principal. This arrangement will also be in full conformity with the provisions of the SAFESI Act as well as outsourcing guidelines of Reserve Bank of India. Both the companies will comply with applicable regulatory guidelines at all the times. Public sector banks have taken a majority stake in NARCL, and IDRCL will be majorly owned by the private sector banks. This unique public-private partnership is envisaged to get the best of the talent in terms of ability to handle large exposures and have the benefit of aggregation, and also the domain expertise in the O&M and the debt resolution process will come handy to resolve the stress assets. When it comes to NARCL, we'll plan to acquire the identified assets on a 1585 cash and SR structure, and these SRs are issued in favor of the transferring lenders. These SRs will be secured by a unique Government of India guarantee for its face value. Both the companies have their respective boards in place. I have the benefit of the chairman of NARCL along with me here, and also the MD and CEOs of the NARCL and the IDRCL are here with me. To start with, both the companies are having their MD and CEOs on secondment basis. Mr. Padma Kumar Nair, a Chief General Manager from SBI Stress Assets Vertical, will manage the NARCL, and while Mr. Manish Makharia, Head of the Alternate Investment Fund of SBI Mutual Fund, will be heading the IDRCL. A total of 38 accounts aggregating to 82,845 crores have been identified. The transfer will happen in a phased manner. Under phase 1, about 15 accounts aggregating to about 50,000 odd crores are expected to be transferred to NARCL. We are trying to have these accounts transferred within this financial year after completing all the required processes. IDRCL is expected to bring in superior resolution techniques, preserve the value, and showcase the brownfield assets and attract the domestic as well as foreign investors, and also the AIFs. This will maximize the value for all the stakeholders. It is also expected to free the bandwidth as well as capital for the lending bankers, which can be put to more gainful use. So there were certain concerns being raised in the media and otherwise, but I'm happy that eventually both the entities have the requisite approvals and they have started functioning. With this, I come to the close of my initial remarks. I would be happy to answer to the questions.
Thank you so much, sir. We now leave the floor open for questions, if any. Vishwanath Nair from Bloomberg Quint, please unmute yourself and go ahead with the question.
Hello, Mr. Khara. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible, Mr. Vishwanath.
Sir, just wanted to get a sense as to why, firstly, there was this sort of back and forth with the RBI on the structure of this entity, NARCL as well as IDRCL, that you had to go back to the principal agent relationship and how this is different from what already exists in the ARC universe.
I think there is no difference in the original construct and what has finally come into existence. This is a structure which has been tried for the first time, which was envisaged for the first time, and whatever time has been taken, it is essentially to iron out some of the issues which could have possibly come up in future. So they have all been ironed out and they have been appropriately addressed, and so that the functioning of both the entities should be smooth and they should be in a position to achieve the objective for which they have been brought into existence.
And my second question on how is this different from what already exists in the ARC business? I mean, this principal agent relationship is very well known. It's not something that NARC is doing for the first time.
No, there are 2-3 differences. One, of course, the SRs which will be issued by the NARCL, they are going to be guaranteed to the extent of 85% by the Government of India. And the second difference is that IDRCL will be independently helping in resolving the assets. It is not merely NARCL or maybe the other ARCs are generally the custodian of the stress assets. And then they look around for resolving the assets. They don't have some kind of a committed arrangement in this particular in this particular structure. There is a committed arrangement in place. So that will ensure the certainty in terms of the resolution of the assets, and also the resolution of assets will also take place at a faster pace.
Okay, I'll come back with the other questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishwanath. Next up, we have Ritu Singh from CNBC TV 18. Ritu, please go ahead with your question.
Hi, Mr. Khara. Again, a clarification on, by the end of this financial year, you said 15 assets worth about 50,000 crore will be transferred in the first phase. And when is this, what is the total, the 2 lakh crore that have been identified? Is that still the same amount? And when is the entire transfer expected to be completed?
Amount would have undergone a change as compared to what was envisaged originally at the time of the when it was conceived, because some of the assets have already got resolved from the system. As of now, in fact, the JLM have already met and have agreed for transferring of these assets. So I think they are all in readiness for moving these assets, and now we have to carry out the process in terms of valuation, etc. And also, whatever is laid out in terms of Swiss challenge, all those processes are required to be carried out, and already those processes have been kick-started also by the entities.
If you could confirm the amount again, sir, exactly how much would those 15 accounts be worth?
It will be 50,000 crores.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritu. Next up, we have Mr. Anurag Shah from Z Business.
नमस्ते सर, आप क्या मेरी आवाज सुन पा रहे हैं?
जी अनुराग जी, प्लीज गो अहेड।
सर, ये जो 22 अकाउंट की लिस्ट थी, तो वहां पर तो कई सारे जो खाते हैं वो रिजॉल्व हो चुके हैं। इसके अलावा कई सारों में अभी लिटिगेशन पेंडिंग है, तो उसका किस तरह से चयन किया जाएगा सर? उसको कैसे सेग्रीगेट किया जाएगा?
देखिए, ऐसा है कि अकाउंट्स का जो चयन किए गए हैं वो सब उस तरह के अकाउंट्स हैं जो कि ट्रांसफर हो सकते हैं। तो 15 अकाउंट, जैसा मैंने कहा कि अभी 50,000 करोड़ के करीब का जिनका अमाउंट है, वो सब जो है सब JLM की मीटिंग में उनके विषय में एक डिसीजन ले लिया गया है और उनको जो है ट्रांसफर का प्रोसेस उस विषय में चालू कर दिया गया है। तो ये प्रोसेस में जो समय लगेगा वही लगने वाला है, उसके बाद ये अकाउंट ट्रांसफर हो जाएगा।
We'll take the next question from Joel Rebello of Economic Times.
Thank you for your time, sir. Sir, first clarification. the total amount to be transferred is 2 lakh crores, and is it how many accounts and over what period? So this is phase one you talked about, 50,000 crore, 15 accounts in this fiscal. What is the other phases, phase 2, 3? Can you just clarify that, sir?
Yes, one second, let me just get that. As of now, about 83,000 crore in about 38 accounts are the one which have been identified very clearly. And what was mentioned about 2 lakh crore was sometime back, and out of which some of the accounts have already got resolved. So as of now, 38 accounts aggregating to about
83,000.
Yeah.
Usme se 50,000 will be done in the first phase, basically.
That's right.
Is that correct?
That's
okay. My question now is, sir, when it was envisaged, the difference between the PSU banks managing NARCL and private sector banks managing the Indian IDRCL was because private sector would get more flexibility. They would be more, they have, you can get more expertise from the market. But now with this principal agent, change, won't that, negate all the benefits that was envisaged when it was
negate the benefits? Why will it negate the benefits? The ownership structure remains the same. The IDRCL is held majorly by the private sector banks, and NARCL is held majorly by the public sector banks. So that remains the same. Principal agent relationship is only to the extent of entering into an arrangement between the NARCL and the IDRCL. And when it comes to the ability to have the account resolved, it will be IDRCL will have the full freedom. So I just fail to understand when you are saying that the initial construct will get negated or the benefits will get negated. It is nowhere there.
No, because it will be needing the approval of the NARCL, right? I mean, ultimately the assets will sit in the NARCL book, and it will be needing at every stage. The IDRCL will have to take approval from NARCL, which will have its own timeline.
I think you are mistaken. You are mistaken. Once the amount at which the asset is being acquired by the NARCL, once it is decided, thereafter it gets passed on to IDRCL for the resolution purposes. And all the decision relating to the resolution will be dealt with independently by the IDRCL. There is no such interference from the NARCL within the functioning of the IDRCL.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. All the very best, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. Next question from Mr. Ram Kumar of the Hindu Business Line. Sir, if you could please unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. I just wanted to understand, these SRs have government guarantee to the extent of 85%. Now, once these SRs are, traded in the secondary market, whether the government guarantee will apply to those SRs, on the SRs that are traded in the secondary market.
SRs will remain the same, even if it is traded. So it will continue to have the whatever benefit is there of the 85% guarantee of the SRs having the Government of India guarantee, that will remain.
Okay.
The character of the SR does not change even if it is traded.
Okay. And any time period for these guarantees, how long they will last, or they'll continue till the expiry of the SRs actually?
I think it's a 5 years time as from the date of issuance.
Thank you, sir.
Next question, Mr. Mayur Shetty from the Times of India.
Good afternoon, sir. My question was again on the SR. Given that there is a government guarantee, would there be any capital relief in holding them? And also, since a large amount of loans are being transferred, what impact will that have on the provision requirements for banks?
So normally all these assets which have been identified, they have been fully provided for, as far as the banks are concerned.
So there will not be any additional provision required?
No additional provision are required. And also when it comes to SRs which are fully guaranteed also 85%, to that extent it will also release their capital from the banking system. They will be holding these investments and they would not be required to provide for that capital. Risk weight would be zero.
Zero risk weight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayur. Next question, Mr. Shayan Ghosh from LiveMint.
Hi, sir. Just wanted to check that is the revised number now 83,000 crore instead of the 2 lakh crore that was spoken of earlier?
Swaminathan here, maybe I can clarify as to what Chairman said. See, 2 lakh crore is the universe that was identified, and a few accounts have got resolved during this period of 1 year. And 83,000 crores worth accounts is where the JLMs have met and taken a decision to transfer. For the remaining accounts, this process is still on in a phased manner. This will probably happen over the next year. And currently, the target is to transfer at least the initial set of 15 accounts aggregating to 50,000 crore. So the universe of 2 lakh crore was identified at the time of the last year's budget, basis 500 crore and above cut off for the banking system and being in the stress assessed book. So this book will be dealt with for a period of time. Either it gets resolved within the lenders or it gets transferred to NARCL. It will happen in the future.
Okay, just another question, sir. So would this be like a one-time transfer of these earmarked assets, or following these as and when there are new NPAs that are eligible to be moved to the NARCL, would that happen again?
As of now, we need to complete this universe that got identified originally. So as you would know, that itself is about 2 lakh crore worth of accounts. So once that milestone is reached, then a review can take place at that point in time. But as of now, our priority would be to complete the universe that was initially identified. Initially identified.
Next question from Shubhashri Ghosh of Bloomberg. Shubhashri, if you could please unmute yourself.
Hi, I wanted to check two things about, one is a clarification about the number you mentioned. Is this for the entire banking system, 83,000 crore and 50,000 crore both, or is it only for SBI?
No, this is for the whole banking system.
Okay. And secondly, sir, I wanted to understand, like, what kind of, relief would you be writing back all the 100% provisioning after selling? I mean, how will this impact your asset quality going ahead? How will this look in terms of the entire banking system? Is there a number that you have? How much will the GNPA ratio come down? What kind of provisionings will be written back from these eventual sales?
We have not yet carried out any such exercise. Maybe in due course we will have the IBA have one such exercise carried out.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
We'll take two more questions. Next up, Mr. Ankur Mishra from ET Now Swadesh. Ankur, if you could please unmute yourself.
Hello, sir, just wanted to understand that how different in terms of numbers it is, I mean, vis-a-vis it was planned before, because earlier it was said that the total amount transferred will be around 2 lakh crore. Now you're talking about the number of 83,000 crore. Correct me if I have missed something.
No, see, the point is that initially the universe which was identified was 2 lakh crore. And in between, some of the accounts have got resolved. And also 83,000 crore is something with which the JLMs have already met and have decided to transfer the accounts. But it does not mean that there is no more accounts beyond 83,000 crore. The other accounts are also being, JLMs are going to be and resolved. But out of 2 lakh crore, how much will finally get transferred? Because these are all moving parts. There would be a situation where some of the banks might be in a position to resolve some of those assets which were originally identified. So if at all, so final number will actually keep on moving, but we expect that it will be somewhere around 1,50,000 crore. That is something which is our estimation.
That will be done in this fiscal, sir, you're saying?
This fiscal, or maybe it might get spilled over, but yes, of course, in this fiscal, our effort is to have at least 50,000 crore kind of an amount transferred from the banking system to the NARCL.
Sir, another thing, does fraud accounts are also included in this, or that will be separate?
No, they are not included in this. Just to clarify,
so that will be planned separately?
Yeah.
This identification was done last year prior to RBI guidelines on accounts classified as fraud. So this universe does not include any accounts that are classified as fraud.
Thank you, Ankur. Next question from Mr. Abhijit Lele of Business Standard. Sir, if you could please accept my request to unmute yourself. We'll take the last question from Shritama Bose of the Financial Express. Shritama, please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. So just a clarification on the transfer mechanism from NARCL to IDRCL. At what stage will that transfer be made of the assets? Like after each asset is aggregated? And is there a price consideration involved in that transfer?
See, when it comes to NARCL, will be acquiring the assets and they will have to carry out the process in terms of valuation, etc. And those valuation, etc. inputs will be coming from IDRCL. And also, once that is done, thereafter, there is going to be a Swiss challenge, which is required to be there. And once all that process gets over, NARCL will be giving the code to the banking system. That's when the assets gets transferred from the banking system to the NARCL. And once after that, these assets will be passed on to IDRCL, and they in turn will initiate the process relating to the resolution of these assets.
Okay. So also then once it's transferred to the IDRCL, it ceases to sit on the books of the NARCL, is it?
No. Just to clarify on this, it moves from the books of the banks to NARCL. Where for each account, a account level trust gets formed, and the debt resolution is what will be handled by IDRCL. IDRCL will not carry any balance sheet. The balance sheet will be that of the NARCL. That's a licensed ARC, so the trust will reside there. The SRs get issued from the respective trust, and for each account, the resolution mandate will be with the IDRCL. And as these accounts get transferred, the payouts will happen to the lending shareholder banks.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you everyone for your time and for all the questions. If we just take a minute of your time for Sir to introduce everybody here present today.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to introduce you with Mr. Subrato Viswas. He's the chairman of NARCL. And next to him is, we have got the MD and CEO of our NARCL. He is Mr. Padma Kumar Nair. And opposite to him is Mr. Manish Makharia. He is MD and CEO of IDRCL. And next to me on my left side is Mr. Swaminathan. He is MD Stress Assets Resolution Group, State Bank of India.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you everyone for your presence and your time. Thank you media for taking the time out and attending this conference.
Thank you everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.